This is a discussion of the argon fill process on any heritage window. Many companies use a metal spacing system and rely on an argon fill method of drilling two holes into the side of the spacer, pushing in a nozzle, and then super injecting argon gas into the glass chamber, so into the cross section of the glass that you see here. The problem with that methodology is that it relies on the nozzle to fill the argon gas, and as argon gas is a denser gas, when it's ejected into the top, the argon's pushing down to the dead air space that's in the chamber, forcing the dead air to leave. However, sometimes dead air flip-flops the spot with the argon, and so you're left still having some dead air left into the sealed glass unit that you would have. When the nozzle is pulled out, butyl is quickly injected into both of those points. But very similar to if you've ever blown up a balloon or a beach ball, you find that when you're done blowing it up, you have to quickly cap it or else you start to lose some of it out of it. So one of the inherent problems that you have is there is some disbursement of the argon or dead air through the two holes before the butyl is placed in there. So most companies, when they have a sealed glass unit, can only do about a 70 to 80% argon fill rate into their window unit. We'll assume that they have the best and that they actually do have an 80% argon fill rate, and I'll explain the differences here shortly. With our product, first off, we use the super spacer, and as a foam super spacer, there is no need to drill any holes into this, because what we actually do is one piece of glass is attached to the spacer, as you see here, but the secondary piece of glass is kept separate. We send in via mechanical arms the glass and spacer system into a vacuum chamber along with the loose other piece of glass that's going to be sealed as a complete glass unit. When it's sent into the chamber, it's going to actually vacuum out all of the just regular inert air that we're breathing, and it's going to super inject the argon gas into this chamber. So the chamber is 100% filled with argon gas. But to still allow for any issues that may arise, we guarantee a 90% or better argon fill rate. Because there's no butyl holes and because the unit's all sealed together, that allows us to have a dispersal rate of about 0.5% of argon per year versus many companies 1%. So you have company A that has a 80% argon fill rate and a 1% loss. 10 years time from now, there'll be roughly 60% glass or gas left in their sealed glass chamber on their window. Versus on every heritage window, you have a 90% guaranteed argon fill rate, of which the average fill rate is typically between 92 to 95%. But we guarantee a 90% argon fill rate with a 0.5% loss. So at a 0.5% loss, you're going to only lose 10%. So in 20 years time, you'll see that if we started off with company A with an 80% argon fill rate, and in 20 years time, we now are down to a 60% argon fill rate at a percent loss, and then you take a heritage window with a 90% argon fill rate and a 0.5% loss, we are going to end in 20 years time at an 80% argon fill rate, which is where many companies actually start their guaranteed argon fill rate, thus proving that the heritage window is a much more energy efficient window over an extended period of time in wintertime month usage.